Read it. Hebrew
11, verse 24.
Yeah.
By faith, Moses, when he was come to yield, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Moses was living good. Moses was living good. Moses understood that an Egyptian should not be killing another Egyptian. That was a law then. Egyptian didn't kill another Egyptian. But Moses, he rather suffer with the people of God. He had a relationship. He understood them because it was put in him from a child. And that's why I thought about that and I said, so that's why the Bible tells us, train up a child in the way he should go. When he's old, he won't depart from him. He might go out there and do some foolish stuff, but down in his spirit, he'll remember what mama taught him when he was just a child. He'll remember that. You won't forget it. So Moses, he knew if I kill these Egyptians, I'm in trouble. But I got to do it. He's beating up my brother. I have a relation. I have an understanding about my Hebrew slave brother. Even though I'm an Egyptian, I'm living good. I'm living the life of an Egyptian. I'm living the life of an Egyptian. But I'm a Hebrew. And I can't just stand there and let him beat up my brother like that. So his righteous indignation rolled up in him, and he went and slew that Egyptian. Violated the law of the Pharaoh. And the next day, he come out there, and two of his brothers fight. And he chastised them. And you know what they said? What did it say? What did the scripture say he said? Read that second verse again.
Second verse?
I mean the 12th and the 13th verse.
And he looked this way and that way. When he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand.
And hid him in the sand. And
when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together.
They were fighting together.
And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intent thou to kill me as thou killed the Egyptian? Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known.
Look at here. The message that got to Pharaoh's throne. Pharaoh know about this. My life now is in jeopardy. My life is threatened. Let me ask y'all this. Why was his life threatened? Why was it? Why? I mean, if y'all can follow me, please. His life was threatened now. What made his life be a threat? What caused his life to be a threat?
He killed an Egyptian. And he wasn't an Egyptian. He was a Hebrew.
Yeah, I'm looking for another word. I'm looking for another word.
Well, the position he was in, that was really, if that's Pharaoh's sister's son, so Moses is killing him.
Why would an Egyptian kill another Egyptian?
What I'm looking for is Moses
He betrayed them.
stepped out of the providence of God. Moses stepped out of the plan of God. And whenever we step out of the plan of God, chaos gonna come. We put ourselves in jeopardy. We put our life in jeopardy when we step out of the plan of God. This is God's thing. Moses took it up on himself to handle it. And anytime we take it up on ourselves to try to bring God's plan to fruition, we're going to have shipwreck. He stepped out of the prophet. God got a time when he moved and when he knows when to move. We can't force God's hand to do when God ain't ready to move. Moses stepped out of God's plan. And when he stepped out of God's plan, his life was in jeopardy. Now he got to roam. Now he got to flee. Let me say this. I know a lot of times we want to do things. And sometimes our desires are good. But did you acknowledge God? Did you acknowledge God? Did you see whether God was going to say yea or nay? Moses jumped up and did that. Slew the man. God already had a plan. God don't need you to interfere in his plan. God not no 3-year-old Sunday school child trying to find out what's going on. He know what's going on. He direct our step. We got to stay in his plan. Because that Moses' life was threatened. Moses got out of the providence of God. He got out of God's plan. Even though what he did was good. Folks have done good things and end up losing their life because they thought that that was the right thing to do at the right time. Yes, ma'am.
My question was, do you also think that Moses was doing it to try to show the Hebrews, I'm here, even though I'm on the Egyptian side, I'm still here for you guys?
Yes, he was saying that in one manner, but that's what Moses said. That ain't what God was saying.
I mean, the reason why he did that as well is he was trying to people.
He said, this go back to what I was saying. He could relate to the Hebrews because his mama, he was a Hebrew. Mm-hmm. So he called himself helping the Hebrew, his brother. But he got out of God's plan by doing that. We can want to do something that's good. There's a saying that we used to say says,
don't let your good be evil spoken of.
No, not that. Not that scripture. It was something like a little real. It's somebody. You can do good, but I haven't forgotten. I can't pull it together. But Brother Donnell, you had your hand up.
Yeah, but by Moses being carnal, did he know anything about? I mean, he didn't know anything about God's plan for him to step out of the will of God to do his own thing, though, right?
Exactly. He didn't know God's plan like we don't. We don't know God. All we know as children of God, that God wants us to live holy. We don't know what God's plan is for us. We know one plan we know he has for us, and that's to get us to heaven. But our daily life task, we don't know what God is calling for us to do altogether. We don't really know that. Many of us don't. Some of us do. I'm going to show you something. Baby, I can't stand still. I have to move around. You got peoples that have a zeal to be a spiritual leader. You got people that want to be a preacher. But did God appoint you to be a preacher? Did God appoint you to be a leader? See, because we want to do it, did God lay his hand on you?
Amen.
See, sometimes we'll follow our own emotions. We'll follow, I really would like, I just love that. I love God's word and I feel like God wants me to be a preacher. That's not necessarily so.
Amen.
You wait and let God move you into that position.
Hallelujah.
You wait and let God direct you. God will direct you.
Well,
If he appoints you, if he chooses you, he appoints you. And if he appoints you, he will anoint you. And he will give you an understanding of his word. But he's just not going to give it to you. He ain't going to give you no understanding of his word by taking it and sleeping on it. You know, some folks sleep on their Bible. You think that's going to help. You got to get in this book and study God's word. And when you study God's word, God will illuminate your mind. And he'll give you revelation of his word.
Amen.
He began to pull the scripture and you can see it. That's why we got so many now out here that take one scripture and go running so far. And you got folks that follow them. Yes, ma'am.
So, just to what you're saying, I think some saints move too fast because of what other saints say.
Oh, yeah.
Other saints encourage them. Oh, you know, you can usher good, you can sing good. Oh, you know the word real good.
And there you go.
that
Swell
goes
your
to
head.
And you're like, yeah.
Swell your head. So we'll swell your head and make you think, oh, ooh.
Right.
I'm going to let y'all hear a little secret now. I'm going to move on from this lesson. God called me into the ministry, and I know God called me in 1976. I know God called me. And I waited. I studied that Bible 8 years before I preached my first message. I went to my pastor and told him in 1976, as I feel the call of God upon my life to minister. I said, but I'm not in no big hurry. I told him, I said, I'm not in no big hurry. My goal was to get my business established, study the scriptures. So when I went out to preach, this is Levi mine. When I went out to preach, I'm going to preach what God said, and if they don't give me no offering, so be it. I got my money in my pocket because I own my own business. That's my train of thinking. I wanted to say what God had said. I don't care what the folks said. I don't care what they look like. You know, sometimes you start preaching, folks look at you bad. You can't say certain things. I didn't want to be one of them fellas. I wanted to speak God's word. That's what my desire was. And I waited. I studied, I waited. I know God called me. I'm not making no mistake. I know he called me. Moses took it up on himself to step out of God's plan, kill that man. God didn't tell him to kill nobody. That's how you know he was out of God's plan.
amen. That's right.
His righteous indignation, his righteousness, not God's righteousness. God had a plan. And when Moses stepped outside of God's plan, God allowed it to happen. He allowed Moses to escape. It didn't change God. God didn't run back to the boat. Oh, what I got to do, I got to change the drawing. God just maneuvered. The devil tried to step in and mess up things that are locking. God maneuvered right around him. Now he went out. Let's read this other verse. Talking about the providence of God. The providence of God. This is a God thing. Y'all keep in mind now. You have to keep this in mind. God made a promise to who? Abraham. And God is a promise keeper. He's getting ready. The 400 years is up what God told Abraham. Now, God is getting ready to bring them out. But Moses is going to try to help him. I know a lot of us got good intentions. And I'm going to say this to y'all. I'm going to say this to you as parishioners and saints. Don't you, I know y'all love your pastor. Don't you go out of your way. Don't you try to make him somebody that's sitting on the throne. I'm going to tell y'all this. They're human beings and we mess with their mind. And that's what the devil playing. He play with your mind. Make you think you somebody that you're not. That's why we got a lot of messed up leaders today. I know a lot of them don't like this. Stop running. Stop messing with your leader's mind. He's human. Just like all of us. All of us, we're human. It's just that God has anointed him for a position. He's still human. And you can mess with his mind. You have him thinking he's something when he ain't nothing. Moses took it up on himself. And he got out of the providence of God and God's plan. And that is called Moses' failure. That was Moses' failure. He failed because he was trying to take stuff up on his own and do it on his own. And God did not tell him to do it. Yes, ma'am.
So who do you think the person that Moses helped was the one that spreaded the word that what he had done, because the man he had killed him and buried him?
Well, we don't know. We don't know, in the Bible haven't told us that this was this guy that was fighting his brother, them two brothers fighting. It doesn't let us know that was one of them that the Egyptian was abusing. But we do know this. It was told, whoever was getting beat or the people saw Moses kill this man, they put it out. They told it because Moses tried to hide, he tried to cover it. And they put it out. And when that brother Moses came back and said, why y'all fighting with each other? Y'all brother, y'all should be fighting. Who made you rule over us? You gonna kill me like you killed that Egyptian the other day? Moses, I got to start running. It's out. The word is out. So that could not have been, they're saying, well, there could have been another one that was fighting. And Moses knew then somebody done told what I did the other day. He knew the word was out. And if the word got out, Pharaoh knew about it. Now I got to go. I got to flee because no Egyptian's supposed to be killing another Egyptian. I have violated the laws of Egypt, the Egyptian throne. I've killed an Egyptian, and that you don't do. So I got to start running. I got to get out of here. I got to go. But God's hand was still in on me. Y'all know that. Sometimes y'all make mistakes. We make mistakes. And when we make a mistake, God don't let that mistake be our disaster. God don't let that mistake be our failure.
Hallelujah.
God will step in that thing, and when the enemy meant it to be for evil, God turned it out to be for good. So now he's on the run. He's on the run. He's running for his life. And he finds himself whereby the other, let's read on. Read a little bit on. Let's go a little further. verse 14, verse 15. Now you that verse 16, I think. But you can read verse 15 to kind of keep it in the groove.
Exodus 2 and 15. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Now the priests of Midian had 7 daughters. And they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock.
See, Moses was a good man. He like some of us. We see injustice done, we want to jump in and get involved. Sometimes it's best for you to just keep on driving, look over your shoulder, and keep on driving. You get out there and get to trying to mess around with something, you end up catching a bullet. You end up getting your head whooped. But the Lord, I was doing a good deed, so that fell on the other end. One thing about you doing a good deed, he looked at you was trying to come after him. Don't get in my way. I was, week before last, I was down here at the church. And a brother came through and he was walking, he was just talking. He was talking about the condition of this area here. And he says, man, me and my girl was walking down the street the other day. And we was walking down, tried to go, me and my girl. And said, that was 2 dudes sitting in this car. And we were just walking on the sidewalk, me and my girl. And he was sitting in the car, and another dude was sitting in the car further up. And I heard him say it. He told me, I heard the dude say, I'm getting my tear today. I'm getting my tear today. Y'all know what that means? Mm-hmm. He gonna kill somebody. Mm-hmm. I'm getting my tear today. And he looked over at the guy said, stay out of this, dude. This ain't your problem. Stay out of it. And he got out of the car and walked up to the guy. Bam, 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 bam. Wow. Walked back and got back in the car and took off. So I got my tear today. Killed the guy. And you gonna jump up there and interfere? Sometimes it's best for you to keep your mouth. Sometimes it's best for you to look the other way. It's an evil world. You got a dog-eat-dog world out here. They playing the game. Now, I know some people get shot innocently because you got, like that woman got shot out here the other day on 147th Street. 2 thugs out there shooting at each other. Innocent lady driving her car, ain't bothering nobody. Bullet hit her and she's dead and she left her children here. I thought about that and I said, God, how could you allow something like that? Them children that without a mother now. Some thugs shooting at each other. And this poor woman ain't minding her own business, going by taking care of her family, and the bullet hit her and she's dead. What was I here? Moses. Look at Moses. He still wanna do, he wanna, how would I say this? What would you, he wants to do what is right. He don't like wrongdoing. After he ran from Pharaoh, now he gets out there in the land of Midian. He's a stranger in a strange land. But yet he still he don't like injustice. Pharaoh, Jethro's daughter come there to water their flocks. It's all women. And these other sheep herders, men came up and run them away. Get away from here. We're going to water our flock. Moses' righteous indignation rose up in him. Whooped them Egyptians, whooped them brothers, whoever they were. whatever nationality it was. He whooped them and ran off. And then fed and watered the flock for Jethro's daughters. He was a good man. He wanted to do what's right. It was in his nature to do what was right. But in this case here, God planned it that way. In this case, he planned it that way. Now, Jethro was a priest. And the girls went back home and told, let us read the story, and then hey, what time is it, Doc? Read that, read the rest of that, and we're going to close out. It was 18th verse, and down to the 25th.
And when they came to Raoul, their father, he said, how is it that ye come so soon today? And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock. And he said unto his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. And Moses was content to dwell with the man. And he gave Moses Zipporah his daughter. And she bare him a son, and called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died. And the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried. And their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage. God heard their groaning. And God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel. And God had respect unto them.
God's next move. This is the providence of God. Jethro, you bring that man home. Man, do something like that. Now, what makes you think they daughters, why did Raoul, which is known Jethro, why did his daughter say it was an Egyptian?
He looked like one. He was dressed like one.
All right. All right. He had Egyptian clothes on.
Accent.
Even though he was a Hebrew. He had Egyptian clothes on. And I'm quite sure Moses being in the position, being the Pharaoh's daughter's son, he was trained in all types of warfare. So when them shepherds came up to him, he might have did some Bruce Lee stuff. y'all see, it tickle me when sometimes be watching television and I see these people. One man whooped 15 guys. I said, who they think they fooling? He kicked one guy and the other guy standing back waiting his turn. And then he jumped up and he knocked that guy back and the other guy jumped in. I said, boy, how come folk can't see this? And you got folk get caught up talking about, they think that stuff is really, he whooping on them. That stage, don't you be foolish. Now I know that karate and that stuff is real, they can fight like that, but on television, you can tell. Common sense tell you, if I'm with 15 guys, it's 5 of us, and just one you, look guys, we gonna all bum rush him at once. We'll get him, bum rush him, one of us might get whooped, might be slapped upside the head, but we'll get him. You gonna stand back and wait your turn to come in and he gonna kick you and he spin around and fly in the air, do all that. That's a bunch of. But Moses must have knew some type of technique for him to whoop those shepherd boys. And I would say by him trained in Egypt, he was a great warrior. And they saw his Egyptian clothes that he had on. And they said he was an Egyptian. But he had the spirit of an Hebrew. Because his mother had told him, you're Hebrew. And the God of Israel, the God of your father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the universe, he's the good, true, and living God. There's none greater than him. I don't care how many gods you see in Egypt. There ain't no God, not like our God.
No way.
And Moses defended, he defended those girls. He was rewarded with a wife. He was rewarded with a wife. Listen, just a thought question. How long, from what you read today, how long had Israel been in Egypt? From this point what we read today, how long do you think Israel had been in Egypt?
400.
Do a little subtraction and little.
Now, most 400, it has to be about 360.
Around 360. Around 360. Because he was 40 years old when he fled. And he took him, God had to take him through how many years of training? 40 years of training, raising sheep before he could become a leader for God's people. 40 years. So it was about 360 years they had been down there. And when he was with Midian, he was down there with Jethro for 40 years. He kept the sheep. And on that 40 year, God said, Moses, you're ready now.
40 years.
I can. I'm glad. Well, it took me almost that long. I was thinking the other day we were sitting at Tyler's dinner, and it's luncheon, and I was thinking over, just looking over the past few years, and I was thinking about a lot of the young pastors. They start pastoring when they was in their late 20s, early 30s. And I said, Lord, you know, I didn't start pastoring until I was 59 years old. I was an old man.